Welcome
Welcome
to Shade
to
and the
Shade.
City. I'm your girl Treese.
It's now.
And today, y'all, we are here to jump into none other than our sip and shade hot topics. It's been a while, okay? It's been a long time. Hey, shouldn't have left you without a
Get
sip
out
and
of
shade to sit to. Okay? We shouldn't have left y'all. I apologize.
here.
But yeah, y'all. So if you have not already, please make sure that you've hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it because it's been a couple hot topics that came out, so it's recent. So I'm gonna make sure I get this out soon, like today, okay? So we could be on the mark. But yeah, so let's get into it, y'all, and let's get shady. So before we start off with the hot topics, I just want to give a big shout out to my co-host, It's Nails. If y'all did not catch her live recap of the Shy earlier today, please make sure y'all go check that out and like up the video. I am very proud of my big sis.
And be there next week for the next one.
And be there next week for the next one. But I'm very, very proud of her for, getting out here doing it on her own because it is not easy. I know. Okay. I know. Sometimes I feel like you talking to yourself, okay? So I absolutely know it is not easy, and I'm very proud of her. All right, so let's get into the first topic. We are going to get into TV news. This just broke, I feel like, all of this morning. Let me get my screen together and share it.
It was this morning.
And we're gonna move to the side. I feel like it came out this morning, and maybe it came out last night.
Yeah, I think
it might have came out last night because everybody's reporting on it today. But if you didn't know, now you're gonna know. Monique Samuels has announced that she is returning to the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Back. She's going back. To Potomac. Yeah.
So, not JB. Look, I don't know why when I pulled up the post, JB in the comments talking about all she do is lie. My God, today.
Oh, who's talking about Monique?
Look, I'm gonna have to hit JB in the DM and be like, "What you got against Monique?" But anyway, so yes, this is compliments of the neighborhood talk. We previously reported that Monique Samuels would be returning to the Real Housewives of Potomac, and looks like not only were we correct, but had the tea first. Okay, so People Magazine confirmed the news today. A source, this was 2 hours ago, a source told the site Monique's in a totally different place now, and fans will see that. She's excited to show who she is now, not as a wife, not as just a mom, but as a woman starting over and taking on life on her own terms. Sure. Are we excited? We know one is. I'll admit, I was not watching Potomac when Monique was on it, so I didn't get to see how she came across on the show. Obviously, I've heard things about and seen clips of the infamous, altercation with Candace. And what's so funny? People were speculating
then that Candace always got what she deserved.
Well, what's crazy is to that, it's funny because I kept hearing news that maybe because I saw her hanging out with the girls and stuff like that. So I thought maybe Candace might, especially with her having a new baby, she absolutely has a storyline. And so I thought maybe she was coming back. But obviously we know if Monique coming back, there's no, and then Candace confirmed the other day that she was not returning. And now Monique has dropped the news that she is. So, it is what it is. Because, remember, she turned down Traitors because Candace was supposed to be on Traitors. So, yeah, they refused. And I mean, I get it, protect your peace. But I say that to say I am excited to see. I would definitely tune in. However, what we got from her on Love and Marriage DC,
it ain't the same.
Did not, again, because that was my first time watching her. So for me, it didn't leave a good impression of who she is and what she's about. Now, again, nails gonna go up for her. That's her good Judy.
No, I can understand that because on Love and Marriage DC, she was not the best, but on Potomac, I stand.
She stands by her Monique love. She absolutely do. That's one thing. She is 10 toes down, y'all. I gotta give her that. But y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know if y'all are excited about the return of Monique to Real Housewives of Potomac. And I imagine it should be a good season, especially. Well, I don't think.
Yes, I love the way she dragged Candace at that winery. Period.
You stupid. All right, and in other Real Housewives or former Real Housewives of Potomac news, congratulations and confetti to Nneka Ingham. Even though we didn't like her on the show, we're happy for her. We know that she was going through her fertility journey.
I didn't have a problem with Nneka.
I didn't like her. But congratulations to her and her husband. They welcomed their first baby son, Noah Jadeshi Ikoa Ehim, on Wednesday, May 14th. If I butchered his name, I apologize, Noah. And they announced the news via people.
That's a good day.
So yeah, so congratulations to Nneka. Like I said, we knew she shared with us her fertility journey, and it's so funny because I think right after she got off the show, that's when she announced, and I feel like it was probably less stressful. That's why she was able to get pregnant. But yeah, so shout out to them, and yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm very, very happy for her, actually, whether I like her or not. All right, y'all. So let's get into this story. It's the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're jumping over, and I read the story about Apollo Nida coming out saying that he had found out while he was in jail that he had a son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where this son came from, he looks a little bit older. So I don't want to assume that maybe he dipped out on Phaedra. But anyway, he was in jail. He said that
I would have thought that this was before Phaedra.
Yeah, I think this is a before Phaedra baby. And he apparently, what I actually pulled up this story because I was more interested in the way that they got the DNA test, because he said he went and like spit in a napkin or did something and mailed it to the girl, and then she went and did the DNA, because mind you, he's in jail. And I'm like, well, why would we have to do all that? They do DNA tests in jail. They absolutely do.
It doesn't have to be court ordered.
I would think if you're gonna go this far, and because now you're licking the paper and sealing it and putting it in, wouldn't it just make more sense to get a DNA test? But clearly, as I've just learned, we don't need one because this little boy is his son. So apparently, I guess he had went on some podcast, and Trey Cribb, who is the gentleman, I guess, interviewing him, turns out to actually be his son. I'm gonna play a little bit of the clip and hope I don't get dinged for it. And let me go off because it's gonna freeze me. Let's go.
Thanks for reaching out. Absolutely. It had to be done. Definitely. It's been a hell of a process, right? A hell of a process. Crazy process. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot on your plate. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, and we have a lot of answers for you. So, you guys stay tuned. And until next time, y'all stay up. Y'all be great. You're telling me, so you see him and you're crying?
Yeah.
Is he emotional as well?
He didn't break down crying. Like, I think he was maybe a little emotional, but he was holding it together. I don't know what he was going through, but I'm sure he was definitely, there was a lot of things going on, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so you see this kid, you talk to this kid, you see him. Do y'all still speak to this day? What's the communication like all the way up to this point?
Oh yeah, we're locked in.
You're locked in?
Oh yeah, me and him is locked in.
Because we don't see this guy anywhere. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, we're locked in, like two peas in a pod. So it was cool though, because like when I came home, we build the bond, right? So we're doing all that stuff, talking on the phone every day, whatnot. Sometimes there's a disconnect sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It's just because, life goes by. I mean, we're locked in. We're pretty locked in, man.
So you call this man right now?
Oh yeah, right now.
Yeah. For the point?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So with all of that going on, it's a lot of moving pieces. When's the last time you spoke to this person?
Well, I mean, you really want to know?
Yeah, no, like for real,
I'm speaking to him right now.
What do you mean?
I'm speaking. You're the guy.
What you mean?
You're the guy.
Wasn't nobody gonna tell me I'm interviewing my father today?
Man.
Y'all wasn't gonna say nothing? What you mean?
I thought that was so cute, personally. And I'm glad that even though, he didn't know about this child, that he was able to, come in, establish a relationship, like he said, let it build. And now that he's out, they're clearly still working on that relationship, because we all know we do love in life after lockup, love during. We know jail talk is jail talk, and when they get out, it's a different story. So I'm proud of Apollo. Should he do better in relationships, or maybe he should just be single, possibly? But I'm glad that he's showing up for his kids. So I give him that. Any thoughts, Nails?
I just feel like it's easier once they're older.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there's that.
But
All right. So in other Real Housewives of Atlanta news, now we know that Brit had threw this tacky ass event, and there's been a lot going on in the social media and online, as far as her making sure she apparently owes her event planner money, and now it has come out as well that the country club has sued her husband Mike, because apparently they owe money as well for the event that they did not pay. I heard it was over thousands of dollars. I don't think it's specified, or maybe it is specified in the lawsuit. Give me a chance. The claim is in the amount of $9,906. That's very specific. Okay. And for Brit to be, flossing like she do, and acting like she got it, I would think, or maybe she thought production was gonna pay it, and then they said we ain't got it to do. I don't know, but I don't know why you would go run up this tab and you ain't got it. And I'm like, Kelly, I feel like don't none of them neighbors know you, probably because you ain't up there like that, because you ain't got it like that, even though you want to pretend you are just because you in a neighborhood. But that ain't my business. Any thoughts on this, Nails, and this lawsuit with Mike?
No.
All right, y'all. So I know I had mentioned it in the Real Housewives of Atlanta recap that I was going to make sure that y'all got the seating chart. And if you notice, or what we did learn, y'all can go ahead and X out Brit, because Brit didn't show up. We'll get into that a little bit later, but this is the seating chart for the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. We see Portia and Shamia on first chair, opposite of Andy. So we know that they're going to be going at it. But I think what people were really talking about was the fact that Drew is at the bottom. And that's never, and I think that they should be more concerned, because I actually like Kelly. Y'all might not care. I'm more concerned that Kelly has a last chair.
Well, it looks like so does Cynthia.
Well, Cynthia was a friend of the show, so that doesn't concern me. Kelly was a main cast member. So for you to be all the way down here at the bottom, Phaedra is higher than you, then that's not, like I said, it's a whole.
Because now technically she came back as a friend of the show, right? Phaedra.
Right. But the point is that, yeah, the friend, like NECA would have been sitting on the, you get what I'm saying, on the end. Like people who don't really, like, they're there, but it's like they didn't really bring anything this season. And I feel like Kelly brought something. So for her to be at the end, I'm a little shocked. I hope, like, for Brit to be be closer to Andy than her, to me, that's an issue.
Maybe they was just trying to give her some special treatment to avoid what was going on.
What was coming. And well, matter of fact, Nails is a perfect co-host, and let's segue in. So this is compliments of Giorgio says. Now he reposted something that Brit Eady had posted, and it says, as everyone is now aware, I'm not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of this season have devastated me. Hold on, I got to do this over. I'm sorry. As everyone is now aware, I am not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of the season have devastated me. And while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic sexual photo surrounding the events in episode 5. That photo was not me. So I have questions. Brit, if the photo was not you, why did we go along at least 2 or 3 episodes in confessionals and you talking about how, oh, well, I used to do webcam, so it possibly could have been me, and I granted she said she didn't see the photo. But before we put and then it goes back to Bravo too. So why does Kenya not have a job? What did y'all punish Kenya for? If that wasn't Brit?
Because they thought it was. It was the assumption that it was her. I'm not saying that it wasn't her. I'm saying it was the assumption that it was her and the representation that it was her. So they would still be reprimanded because Kenya brought it on as if it was her. And actually, if it wasn't her, it actually makes it worse. Good job, okay?
As the
So
episode makes clear, I did not see the photo at the time. Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event. And based on what I was told, assumed that it was somehow a photo of me, which is why I reacted in the way that I did. I did not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I know it was not me. I look forward to seeking accountability and moving past this dark part of my life. Brit. Now, let's get into the real foolishness, y'all, because Brit done taken it a step further, and she has decided,
the lies.
right now, Brit done got up here and said that she is suing Bravo for $20 million, y'all. She said, pay me for my mistaken pain. That's what you gonna do. Okay? Y'all gonna pay me for my mistaken pain. And so yeah, it's a $20 million lawsuit against Bravo for defamation. And SH, she claims that they were aware that the explicit photos shown by Kenya were not of her, but led the public to believe that they were. Any thoughts, Nels? Hold on, let me so yesterday, this was, give me a second, 1 day ago. So this was yesterday. Brit Eady dropped a bomb on the timeline, revealing the explicit pictures that Kenya showed off the night her salon grand opening of the salon grand opening were not of Brit, as everyone originally assumed. Now Brit is filing a $20 million lawsuit against Bravo, accusing them of defamation, SH, and subjecting her to an emotionally hostile work environment. In the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Brit claims Bravo falsely yet unmistakably implied the explicit pictures shown at Kenya's event were hers, causing her emotional distress and embarrassment. Although the event was in June 2024, Bravo still decided to air the episode and the aftermath of the event in April 2025, an action Brit believes was malicious. Brit claims Bravo knowingly contributed to a hostile work environment by continuing to make her show up to film and discuss the traumatic event that she at the time believed was of her. She also claims that they SH'd her by subjecting her to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments that follow the aftermath of the gendered attack. So she's suing Bravo, its parent company, NBC Universal, and its production companies, Truly Original and Endemol Shine North America, for $20 million. On top of the cash, she wants Bravo to remove the episodes from public access after you let them air for this long. Okay. So no one can ever watch it again. All right, Nails, go ahead. Go on. I feel like you brewing. I feel like you cooking.
No.
She said, nope, ain't nothing in the kitchen.
I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less.
I think that now that she's out of a job because she didn't show up for the reunion, and I think she didn't show up for the reunion because she planned on filing this lawsuit. But my thing is, why do you let it? That episode, that was like episode what, 4 or 5? We're now in episode 13. So people have played, and not even that. Before you even, if you really felt like it was that bad and you wanted to go to production and have them remove it, I give her points. It could have been taken out if it was that bad. And I kind of agree. If Kenya can lose her job over it, why are we even airing it? So that's where I do feel like Bravo does have to take some type of account.
I don't understand how you're just now seeing it. It feels like someone told her to say that it wasn't her.
Right.
If somebody put out a photo of me to the point where it's been aired and it's got me distraught and I'm about to lose my job, my license, I'm going to want to see it
Mm-hmm.
well before a reunion airs, well before, like I'm sitting down with these people and discussing this about whether my mouth got miles on it. I'm going to want to see it and then tell you whether it's me or not. I'm not waiting this long. So this gives me Brit. This gives me Brit Eady. I'm not my flapper is not gassed.
Not my flabber is not gasted. Okay. Well, Britt said, I'm coming. You gonna pay me for my supposed pain, whether it happened or not. All right, y'all. So prayers up and condolences for the family of Kadia Lewis. As y'all know, if you for all of us people that used to still watch Love and Hip Hop,
I still
we
do.
know. Well, yeah, Nell still do.
I
We know
remember
that.
KD. I remember KD.
Okay, I do too. I do remember her. I remember that
That
scene where she
scene,
was when
that
she was
scene
showing Jock the house and Carly went off.
look, sure did. And I do
I,
every night. I said, oh, child,
but
child.
it's unfortunate they have not revealed the cause of death, and obviously we're not family. We don't necessarily need to know, but yeah, prayers and condolences up to her family. Her brother exclusively told the Shade Room that she passed on May 30th. And they said at this time they asked for privacy and do not wish to discuss the call surrounding her passing. This has been extremely emotional and devastating time. All prayers and condolences and well wishes are sincerely appreciated. So yeah, I did think that was sad because I do feel like clearly she wasn't an older girl. And I don't know. I get it. We don't have a right to know causes of people passing, but sometimes, especially when you have somebody so young, it just makes you really want to know like what took them up out of here.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's very unfortunate. Now let's move on to all right, y'all. Maybe y'all can explain it to me, and maybe Nails. This might be her bag, but I am really confused as to what is going on with the DDG and the Hallie of it all. Let me mute this. So apparently, DDG and Hallie, they haven't been seeing eye to eye. They're in the middle of a custody battle right now. And I know that I think, was granted. I know for a fact that she was granted a temporary restraining order, but his was denied. But I think when it really got messy was when we learned that she had put air tags in his car to track him. And look, Nels, why are you looking off? Why are you looking off like you condone
I ain't
this?
seen nothing wrong with that. I thought she was going to talk about the
Right.
text messages because the text messages I think are fake. But as far as
Well, the text message that was the thing. I was trying to find that post because unfortunately, you guys, I am not going to read them to you because of the obviously sensitivity of what she's saying in the text messages.
it's
But
probably down to the left. No,
but here it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it starts off with this is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't she's so mad she ain't even typing good. You don't step up when you need to. I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to unalive myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. You can have him and let her be his mom. You put your penis inside of her in Mexico. Answer the effing phone. Answer the effing phone.
Let me tell you, what phone says viewed?
Oh, I
Viewed
don't
at
know.
whatever time. None of what and it's blue. Our phones say delivered or read.
Okay.
It looks like BS. It looks like he used some app to make this mess. It looks like BS. I don't know. It's like if
So
I
you don't
believe
believe it is what you're saying.
no, I don't.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't. And this is back from 2022. iPhones were definitely saying delivered and read, not viewed. If your message is read, it says read.
Well, then it got even messier because his mama came out to Cape for him and basically said that, you know, she had the air tags and she
And
followed
said that
him.
she had a reason too, because she ran up on him and some chick at the movies. Look, if she got trust issues, she had a reason.
And I agree, but I'm gonna have to
to
be one of the ones, and I know this is unpopular. And granted, we all been young and dumb before, but I'm gonna have to be one of the ones to say everybody tried to warn this girl. Everybody said, "Don't mess with this lame ass nigga. Your stock is way above him, and there is nothing that he could possibly offer you but pain, tears, and trouble." And she didn't listen.
But that's outsiders telling her who've never dealt with him. When you have this man in your face treating you like a princess, basically,
But
what the hell do we know?
was he really treating her like a princess though? Because apparently
What we saw.
Because if you remember, they had the reason why we, in my opinion, the reason when I first had a problem with DDG, because first of all, I didn't know who he was till he started messing with her. But my first issue with him was the whole Ruby Rose situation. To me, that's when she should have been done. That was her red flag. But then she kept it up.
It was like text messages to her or something.
Right. Talking about, oh, I'm only with Haley or Holly, something like that. I don't really like her. And then it's going to come out and say, well, I was just mad at her. So I text her. That to me was the first red flag that I was like, not even for that was a blaring red flag. Leave this ninja alone.
Did she already have the baby by then?
No, she won't even pregnant then.
Well, we don't we don't know because we don't know when the hell she was pregnant. She was hiding it for so long.
I don't know, child. But anyway, at least to my knowledge, she wasn't pregnant. And then she kept dating him. And then, eventually we started to see hints of it. And maybe it was, but it sounds like he was cheating on her. That's what I'm saying. Was he ever really good to her? Outside of maybe love bombing her when they first got together, was he ever really good to her? Because he was cheating on her while she was pregnant. She says that. So to me, and then, like I said, in my mind, the Ruby Rose event came before she was pregnant. So he's always been an ancient. But
it's like one of the comments says, to everyone who's confused about what gaslighting is, this is a prime example.
Okay. But yeah, and so now Haley has fired back, and now she wants he's fighting for sole custody while she's fighting for sole custody as well. I forgot what because he recently got into this altercation at some type of con situation, and he got into a fight, and so basically now she's trying to use that as he's an unsafe parent, whereas he's trying to use her text messages, what y'all see on screen, to say that she is not mentally fit. And it's just ugly. It's just ugly. And I do feel bad for her. Nobody wants an ancient baby daddy. Apparently he ain't paying no child support. And I feel like that's the only reason why he's filing for full custody is because he wants to get money from her. Because like she said, they have no schedule. It sounds like she has to beg this man to come get his child. And then he, when he needs a photo op or to do something on his stream with his followers, then he starts crying about how she's keeping the baby from him, when it sounds like he don't want the baby no damn way, because it sounds like the baby be at his mama's house until he needs it for promotion. And that's just my opinion. I think it's crazy to use a child for a marketing tool, but that's just my opinion. All right, y'all. What'd you say?
He uses everything for a marketing tool.
Right, and it's sad. It's sad.
Even that thing. Remember when he admitted that he rented that car?
Yeah, right. Everything is a marketing tool. All right, y'all. So congratulations to, and I ain't gonna hold you, I feel terrible because I have not seen it yet. But Keke Palmer and SZA apparently are getting a sequel to their hit One of Them Days. I need to go watch the movie. Maybe I'll do that today. But yeah, so congrats and confetti to them. I think it's good. I think they make a good duo. And like I said, I've seen clips. I ain't seen the movie, but they do seem fun. It seems like a good sisterhood type of movie, bestie type of movie. So yeah, I'm here for it and I'm happy for him. Kudos to Keke, because we know that's Nels' Virgo boo. All right. So y'all, let's get into the diddler of it all. We gotta go into Diddy's. We gotta go into Diddler's corner. All right. Diddy has it's been an interesting week in court. I've been listening to Girl, that's legal. Shout out to Simone, Red Wine. I love her. But we had Jane Doe to take a stand this week. I'm not sure if y'all, obviously it's Jane Doe, so I want to keep her that way. I'm just gonna say that we all know who she is. Um, her baby daddy is famous, and he doesn't get along.
Her baby daddy know who she is.
And her baby daddy don't get along with Diddy. And that's all I'm gonna just leave that right there. And if you get it, if you pick up what I'm putting down, then that's what it is. Okay. So yeah, no, basically, hold on. So prosecutors had called this new witness, Jane Doe, to the stand. I believe this happened, or this article was written 2 days ago. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. She gave quite a bit of detail about her relationship with Diddy. When asked for a bit of background on herself, Jane Doe says she grew up in California, completed junior college, and worked as a model. She met Diddy in 2020 on a Miami girls trip. This is the sad part. Well, I ain't even gonna say the sad part. This is what got me looking at this girl sideways. One of her girlfriends was dating him at the time, but he took interest in her. And they started to see each other behind the homegirl's back. But luckily, her homegirl wasn't too upset because she apparently was messing with somebody else and they went and got engaged. So she didn't really give a damn. And thank God for that, I guess. And she said, that's your problem now. So she says Diddy got her a hotel room in Miami in the beginning of 2021, and that their first date lasted 5 days. Jane shared that Diddy and the father of one of her children don't get along, but he wasn't concerned. She says she was head over heels for him and that they made a lot of love. Continuing her testimony, Jane spoke of a trip she took with Diddy in February 2021, where they spent 9 days in Turks and 6 days in the Bahamas. That sounds beautiful. Like, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He allegedly gave her $10,000 for taking her away from her work as a content creator after she mentioned being a single mother. She says Diddy urged her to take ecstasy, asking her to do so about 10 times. After taking it, she became more sexual, and she says the two would say they loved each other, though he made her aware he was seeing multiple women. And then Jane says she continued dating Diddy until he was arrested, and most times would see him every other week, with the exception of 2 breaks. One break lasting for 4 months, October 2023. She described him as sweet while they dated and said he would send wires and give her cash. What's interesting is that Jane Doe says that she did drugs like ecstasy, Molly, the cocoa puffs, and the K. Okay, the K. And whenever she was and so she was doing that whenever she was with him and whenever they, got down on it, right? Now what I will say is that still to this day, Diddy is paying that girl rent. Listening to Queen Sheba, shout out to her, and Simone's testimony, because they are live, boots on the ground at the courthouse, and they were talking about how, yeah, he still pays her rent to this day. She has a $10,000 a month rent, and even though she has a baby daddy where she gets almost $12,000 a month in child support, she stayed because when she told Diddy she didn't want to do the freak offs anymore, he said, cool, we can just break up, but I'm not going to pay your rent anymore. And so I think that's how they're trying to get the enterprise and coercion. And because he was wiring her money after these encounters, that comes off as a part of the whole RICO. But yeah, so that's what went down today.
So she did stop doing the freak offs?
No, she was dating him up until the day he got arrested.
So she just never stopped doing the freak offs?
No, that's why he literally, to this day, as of June 7th, 2025, he's still paying that girl rent.
Okay.
So I don't think the defense has had a chance to cross-examine her yet, because I think and I think Simone makes a good point. It's going to be hard to talk about, you know, because she even said, I didn't mind the freak offs. I just, she said it just got to a point where it was like I just didn't want to do them anymore. But she was like, when it first started, I thought it was, you know, fun, adventurous, and you know, I felt exhilarated. And she said it was the fact that it was all the time for hours, for days on end. And she said, and I just got to a point I just wanted to be with him. And she admits to being jealous of Young Miami because she was dating that. And apparently I've already said too much, because if you were around during that time, then you already know who the hell I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because Miami called her out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I guess what she was upset about was because Diddy was doing all this stuff for Young Miami for her birthday and doing all these things, and she didn't have to do the things that this Jane Doe had to do, or at least she felt like she didn't have to do that, whereas she was called in. Because she said there was one story which I thought was really sad. She had flew to Miami for her birthday, and he was like, and she was like, I just wanted to be me and you. And he was like, no, I got you. And he planned this beautiful romantic dinner. And then at dinner, he told her he had hired entertainment. And she was like, because that was their like code word. And so she was like, it's my birthday. On my birthday, like, I don't want any entertainment. I just wanted to be me and you. And he was like, oh, well, I just want to have some fun and did it, whatever. And so she said that she had to be with those men, and that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to do in order to get her bills paid. But if I was the defense, that to me is not a RICO, because nobody's required to pay your rent. You're definitely capable of going to get a job. Mm-hmm. So if you continue to stay in a situation because you needed your rent paid, that wasn't his job. You weren't his employee. Lassie is a different story. But the Jane Doe, no, you're getting child support. You got somebody to, or you should just go get a job. And I'm not trying to besmirchify or minimize the victim at all. I'm just saying that if I was on the defense, that's what I would attack. Like next week, I'm gonna be tuned in because that's the first thing I would attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all. So that was pretty much it for this episode. I was gonna get into the girls fighting, but don't nobody care. The Elon and the Trump of it all. Don't nobody care for real. I know we don't, because at the end of the day, Trump gonna still be Trump and Elon gonna still be Elon, and we knew it was bound to happen eventually. So we can't say surprise, surprise, because we knew it was gonna happen. But yeah, y'all. So if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms. That's the TikTok, IG, the Facebook, and the BlueSky. And yeah, y'all, I promise you, we're going to get better. We're going to get back out here. You see, we was able to do this under 40 minutes. So we're going to keep this up, okay? We're going to come back and give you another sip and shade next week, okay? Promise. Mean it. Love you, mean it. All right, but yeah, y'all, have a good weekend. Be safe. Bye-bye.